Great Scott. Great Scott. Great Scott.
Hello everyone and welcome to another fabulous episode of Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. Thanks for watching. I can't tell you how excited I am. In less than 2 days I'll be sitting in the big theater watching the next edition of the DC Extended Universe as imagined by Zack Snyder. Of course directed by Patty Jenkins, but Zack was one of the writers and Zack is the usherer in of this DC film universe and continues to be, even though he needs to take some needed family time off, and I really hope he comes back, and I really hope to see this universe continue. Now, Joss Whedon, as we know from last week, will be taking over the finishing touches of Justice League, but it's meant to stay in the same vein of where Snyder was already taking it and moving forward. I don't think full DC movies by Joss Whedon is the way to go, because he's always been kind of a more silly, goofy, humorous director with things like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I was never a fan in the beginning of Joss Whedon, though I do love Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, and I do love the MCU films that he's done. But people have been clamoring for, let's turn the DCU movies into Marvel movies, and everybody just kind of wants everything to be exactly the same. So who knows what the executives are going to bow down to, but hopefully they don't change everything. Wonder Woman, in terms of, as far as where Superman is concerned, I have a few, I wouldn't say concerns, but a few thoughts and I'm very curious to see how they're going to take it. In Batman v Superman, she was clearly pretty invulnerable. She used the shield to block a giant blast from Doomsday, which probably would have killed Batman, and probably just knocked Superman back and Wonder Woman back from what we see from the rest of the movie out of Wonder Woman. She doesn't really use the bracelets in the movie as far as I remember, but in the previews for the new movie, which is an origin story, which happens during the World War, we see her blocking bullets, which is a traditional thing. It's a classic thing. It's something you need. It's kind of like the shirt rip for Superman or for Spider-Man when copied by Sam Raimi. So you need that, but if she's able to get backhanded by Doomsday and roll 300 yards down a rocky terrain and get up with not even a scratch on her, smile, and want to get right back into battle, why is it that she would need to block bullets? Is there some sort of caveat that says if it's a bullet, it can hurt her? If it's got a point on it, it can hurt her. And she needs the shield. But of course, she's fighting men in the movie coming up. But there's also some superpowered beings. We see her surrounded by electricity at one point. The woman with poison abilities wearing the mask over half her face. Apparently another well-known, but I won't spoil it until you see the movie. Not well-known, but a DC villain. When people say she's only fighting soldiers, how exciting is that even going to be? Because they can't hurt her and she's got superpowers. And in terms of the world of Superman, obviously we're not going down the path of the New 52 where Wonder Woman and Superman had a relationship. But technically, even though Zack Snyder first said, this is a new universe, fresh start, Superman clearly the first superhero to ever emerge. Then we learned Batman was already emerged then, and now we're going to learn that Wonder Woman was already a part of one of the biggest wars of all time, fighting Nazis. So clearly Superman's a long distant third, and then soon we're going to find out Wonder Woman. We've already seen the Flashes in action. So really, how first was Superman when Wonder Woman's 100 years earlier than when he first showed up? So in my mind, some statements were made that have now turned out to be falsehoods, fake news, if you will. And is that because the executives came in and said, no, we want these heroes to be more important? Or is it just us Superman fans who feel like we're always getting stepped upon and Superman's always getting kicked to the side in favor of others? Now, the truth is, none of these other heroes have even had their own movies other than Batman. And I think it's great, and I'm super stoked to see Wonder Woman, so I'm not complaining. But it will change what was said about Superman, and I'm sure Wonder Woman would have been a known quantity unless somehow at the end of the movie they erase all memory from mankind that she was there fighting in one of the most important wars in human history. But we'll see. Thanks everybody for watching, and remember, all all the world is waiting for you. Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman.